Hello, this is David Montague, and I am doing a video uh, of instructions for milestone number 3. It'll be a short video. Again, the written instructions are on Blackboard, but I wanted to create this video to just verbally try to get across what I think is important about this milestone. First of all, the goal of milestone 4 is to demonstrate the ability uh, to access open source documents related to the criminal justice policy that you have selected in the previous milestone. So that's the goal of milestone 3. The description and purpose for milestone 3 is that this milestone enables the student to identify the difference between documents available to the general public and documents that are restricted either for proprietary reasons, national security reasons, or reasons dealing with the general public in terms of safety, such as court documents dealing with allegations about child abuse that have names of children in them, or certain specific sources and methods on how law enforcement or intelligence agency personnel are to protect certain information from the public. So certainly it makes sense that not all documents should be or are available or used for a project like this, and therefore those are not open source documents. The importance of knowing how to obtain appropriate documents is important in that as a student, you have to make sure that you do not utilize material in this course that would not be available to the general public. So documents available to the general public are called open source documents. This fact is sometimes difficult for some students when they have access based on their professional position, for instance, to documents that they feel very strongly about that are tied to the criminal justice issue that they've identified. So in other words, as passionate as you might be, and because you have certain knowledge of things that exist and access to certain documents perhaps, that does not justify your using them and outside of, I'm sorry, using them for a project like this. For instance, if you if you work within a jail setting and you have access to documents that are not open to be shared with the general public, you may be aware of something that's going on there and really want to address it, but you have to go through the appropriate channels. You cannot simply just release documents because you're doing a school project dealing with that topic. Um, let's see, I'm reading some notes as I'm saying this too, so please bear with me. So again, if that person, say, worked in the jail setting, they could not provide internal jail documents that are not allowed to be shared with people or organizations outside of that jail without permission. So just you have to find other types of documents that allow you to look at the criminal justice issue that you're trying to deal with. And again, those are called open source documents. In some cases, actual regulations or laws themselves might not be open source documents either. Not to be confusing, but that's a fact. So this is because of things, for instance, they're based on the nature of the organization itself and what it does. For instance, certain intelligence agencies have regulations authorizing them to carry out specific functions, but the general public cannot be aware of them, or it would eliminate the ability of the organization to actually perform those functions, so that it makes sense. So this milestone and the course generally does not provide any exemptions from laws and regulations that organizations have on release of internal documents. It's very important to remember. I have had students in the past that have said, you know, this is something that I have access to and I want to use this. And I have to tell them you can't. So unless it's something that anybody could look at, you can't use that document. And there's no way around that. At the completion of this milestone, the student will provide 3 examples of open source documents that are connected to the law or regulation that they selected in milestone number 2. So again, at the end, you're going to have 3 open source documents. These are not hard to find. And this is just to give you a start. Down the road, you'll be finding many more of them, but this is just to demonstrate to me that you are able to actually complete that process. So you do have several tasks for this milestone. First, you're to use the narrative document that you created in Milestone 1, review it, again, in order to think carefully about the criminal justice issue that you're passionate about. Next, you're going to use the law or regulation that you identified and uploaded in milestone number 2. And then, I'm sorry, using that law or regulation, you're going to go online to find open source documents related to that particular issue and specifically connected with that law or regulation. Okay? For instance, I typed, quote, rape in Arkansas, end quote, into google.com and found the website for it's a governor appointed board called the Arkansas Commission on Child Abuse, Rape, and Domestic Violence. And I actually attached that PDF from that document, PDF, in this module for the milestone as well, so that you can see what I'm talking about for reference. So there's lots and lots of open source documents out there. You have to think broadly and be very focused and dig and dig and dig, and you'll be fine. But again, you cannot use documents that are things that people would not have access to generally. So after you've identified 3 open source documents, I want you to upload them into the submission tool for Module 3 for the milestone. Please make sure that you have converted them into PDF files if they are not already in that format. In other words, please do not send me any links to websites. Please just send me the document so that I can actually see it. Okay? All right. So finally, after you've uploaded those 3 open source documents for me to see, then I want you to create a short narrative document of no more than 1 page in length, explaining how those 3 open source documents actually connect to your policy, your law or regulation, in connection with your criminal justice issue. So simply put, you will have found 3 documents, you will have put them up there, and I want you to send me a narrative document that talks about them and why you think that they're connected. So you're kind of building on what you started in milestone 1. All right? There is no need for citation in this milestone, and that completes things. Remember, you have a written version of this right on Blackboard within this module. Thank you.